Hello guys, today, the next few episodes I don't have DVDs for, I just watch them on TV. I've been doing a lot of that lately, kind of writing down movies I just saw, instead of kind of picking them out for my collection. Like, saw in a while, like older movies and whatnot. Today we're going to talk about Mr. Holland's, I've always, his, Mr. Holland's Opus. I hope that's how you pronounce it, or is it Opus? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, for simplicity, I'll just call it Mr. Holland's Opus or whatever. This is a great movie. I actually watched it a few times when I was young too, and I rewatched it recently, and I had to talk about this film. This movie was released in 1995. It's rated PG, a bit more adult PG than, let's say, the Lego Movie, so something to keep an eye out for. It's about 2 hours and 23 minutes long. It's a longer movie, and it was released on DVD in 1999. The movie has 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb with about 33,000-ish user votes and 59% on Metacritic with about 21 critics. It stars Richard Dreyfuss, who was in Jaws and some other cool stuff, and I hope I pronounced this name right. Glenn Headley? It's a girl character. Or is it Claire? No, it's Claire Headley, who was in Don John, a movie I talked about before. And it's directed by Stephen Herrick, who did the Bill and Ted movies, actually. And I can kind of see that now, as I'll talk about that in a little bit. And on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 75%, but it's not certified fresh because it doesn't have enough critics. It only has 28. And 83% by audiences, about 2,200-ish audience people. The critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is a feel-good story brought to life by a terrific ensemble cast. Mr. Holland's Opus plucks the heartstrings without shame and with undeniable skill. And the movie's not available for streaming, but it is available to rent and buy on YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, Vudu, and the Microsoft Store. Now, Bill and Ted movies obviously deal with music. Music is a huge subject, and that's where the similarity is music. I mean, this is one of those movies where if you want to get someone passionate about music, this is a great movie to show them. I think the best. Let's talk about it a little bit at a time. The cast is great. The cast is fantastic. We have it's weird. William H. Macy. A lot of people my age know him from Shameless, but believe it or not, before Shameless, he was typecasted as the conservative guy, the type of guy that his current character he plays with Khan. That's why every time I see this show, it always shocks me. I'm like, man, this is the same guy. He has a supporting role in this. I didn't mention it because it's a bit of a lesser role, but he's in it pretty well. Richard Dreyfuss, he's been in quite a few stuff. I haven't seen everything he's in known, but he was in a lot of great stuff, especially in the 70s. The 70s was kind of his high time for him. The film's great for being passionate about music, and it's definitely a good film for teachers too, especially teachers who only think about, I'm just gonna stop by and not do much here, and I won't stick around that long kind of film. But yeah, it really gets you passionate about music, and the characters do go through some shit, especially the main character, and yeah, it's just well done. I mean, the story is well written. I will admit, I kind of would have liked a little bit more. I don't know. I felt like there could have been a bit more. I don't know. I guess everyone will have their own take on what they would do a little bit differently with the story, because the story is really. It's weird. The story's kind of built like a biography, but it's about someone who's fictional. So that's the kind of vibe it has. It's pretty much the guy's life through, like, when he started teaching till when he retires. And that's pretty much the whole thing. It's very awesome, and you see him and the students, what they go through it with life throughout that time period. Mostly him though. The students not so much. The students are just kind of there to kind of help him evolve into help him evolve as a character. That's so yeah. Writing, cinematography. The cinematography is it's above average. It's nothing really too flashy. It's pretty much there to serve the purpose of telling the story and the characters, and it does it well. The music, the sounds, the score of the film is very reflective of the movie, which is great. There's not much else to say. There's not a lot of. It has its funny moments, but it's mostly a drama, so be prepared for that. I find the most. But yeah, it's. I just enjoy it because I enjoy. I don't know. It just kind of resonates with my passion for music and really, I don't know, helping people learn and get better with something they love. That's kind of a theme in this movie too. So if you like teacher movies, this is a great teacher movie. If you like music movies, this is a great music movie. It's just like solid movies in general. It's a solid movie. There's not much more I can say about it. I do like this movie a lot. I think the reason why not many people talk about it as much anymore is I think because it came out 95. Oh my god. The 90s were like Oscar movie juggernauts. I mean, the previous year there was like Forrest Gump and Jurassic Park. I mean, the late 90s, you see, if this movie came out in the late 90s, like with Good Will Hunting, it probably would have gotten a lot more hype. But when this movie came, because the late 90s was a shit time, late 90s, early 2000s was a shitty time for movies. And they could have, and if this movie came out probably around then, it probably would have done better. But I think it coming out in 95, I think it just had too much competition because there was a lot of great movies released at that time. But if the movie wasn't marketed quite right, then yeah. The movie's on cable reasonably. I don't see it often on DVD. It's definitely on DVD. I've definitely seen copies. You can probably find it on Amazon, but I haven't really seen it in like Walmart or Myers, really. I mean, if you dig a little bit, you could probably find one, but the ones I go to, I haven't seen one. But yeah. Overall, it's a solid movie. I recommend it. I definitely enjoy it a lot. I think a lot of people will enjoy it too. I just think the key really is just not to get. I think the key really is just to kind of just watch it. Don't get too. I don't know. I'm not big. It's kind of hard to say. I feel like some people may not like it because they may feel like they've seen it before. You know, because the movie does rely on some, I wouldn't say cliches, but a few slightly familiar things. But it doesn't dominate the movie. So don't let that deter you from watching it or finishing it if you start it. But yeah, overall it's a solid movie. I recommend it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.